Lucilla has officially been revealed for Wuthering Waves, and this is probably one of the more interesting character reveals we've had in a while, because she showed up right in the middle of all the hype around the upcoming Cyberpunk 2077 collaboration. Most people expected the marketing cycle to stay focused on Lucy and Rebecca for a bit longer, so seeing Lucilla suddenly appear through drip marketing definitely caught players off guard. Based on the current schedule, though, it starts to make more sense. The collaboration characters are still expected to take over the first half of version 3.4, while Lucilla will most likely arrive in the second phase once the crossover banners have had time to breathe. Since collaboration units are usually limited in a much stricter way than normal characters, there's a good chance those banners stay active longer than usual, so players actually have enough time to pull on them. What's immediately standing out about Lucilla isn't just the design, it's the lore attached to her profile. She's introduced as the president of Star Torch Academy, someone who approaches problems carefully and seems genuinely invested in helping her students pursue what they want. That already gives her a very composed and calculated personality, but the more important detail is her specialty, memory regression. According to her description, Lucilla can extract memories, recreate them, and physically manifest them into reality. That opens the door to some really unique animation and combat ideas because the developers could take that concept in a lot of directions. You could easily imagine delayed attacks, recreated past events, summoned constructs, or some kind of reality distortion effect tied to her abilities. Even if the leaks around her kit aren't fully finalized yet, the thematic setup already feels a lot more creative than a standard elemental support. Right now, the strongest rumor is that Lucilla will be a 5-star Glacio sub-DPS, and if that ends up being accurate, then the obvious connection is Hiyuki from version 3.3. Hiyuki is already shaping up to be a major Glacio carry, so it wouldn't be surprising at all if Lucilla is designed specifically to complete that archetype. Recent characters in Wuthering Waves have leaned heavily into fast swap gameplay and rotational synergy, so there's a strong chance Lucilla follows the same pattern, by applying buffs, enabling coordinated damage, or amplifying Glacio-related effects while staying mostly off-field. What's interesting, though, is that newer leaks are hinting she may also work exceptionally well in a completely different composition outside the expected Glacio setup. There aren't many details yet on what that team actually looks like, but if that information is accurate, then Lucilla could end up being much more flexible than people initially assumed. That would immediately increase her value because characters that can slot into multiple high-level teams tend to age much better over time. The difficult part for most players is going to be resource management because the release schedule is getting pretty aggressive. Version 3.3 already has people preparing for Hiyuki and Denya, then immediately after that you're walking into version 3.4 with Lucilla plus the entire Cyberpunk collaboration happening at the same time. That's a brutal stretch if you're trying to pull multiple characters back to back. At least there's one thing making the situation a little easier. Rebecca is expected to be free, which should take some pressure off players who mainly care about collecting the collaboration units without completely destroying their currency reserves. Right now, Lucilla honestly feels like one of those characters that could end up becoming a core account piece, depending on how strong her utility actually is. If the leaks about her supporting unexpected teams turn out to be true, on top of the Glacio synergy, she could have a much bigger impact on the meta than people are expecting this early. So, at this point, are you planning to save for Lucilla, or are the Cyberpunk characters still the bigger priority for you?